And then there's a template available on the governor's websites to print and help them guide their plan development that they need to keep on their property in case there's a question about, their plan. But they basically, in the guidance document to the businesses in phase one that are slated to reopen, it talks about the different categories, and it talks about the expectation, but then some best practices. So, so it gives them ideas of things that they can use to help them guide their plan. At the end of that guidance document, there's a spot for them to certify that they've read it and they understand it, and then they develop their plan. So I think that there's going to be a lot of businesses on that website, and it is available. It is open today, and I sent you that link. It's in the letter I circulated, the last copy of the letter. And
that's why we need to send a letter to all the businesses, because I think the businesses need to know about this. And if we don't send them a letter or some kind of notification, not everybody's going to know about this. Not everybody's on Facebook or hears all the stuff. I mean, the paper helps us some, but we want to make sure everybody gets this information.
So between the Chamber of Commerce's and the IDA/LDC, they have thousands and thousands of, of businesses they can send our letter out to. And I'm not saying they're all like businesses. Some of them are tourism contacts, but they'll go through it. So maybe thousands and thousands is an exaggeration. But anyhow, they have a mass email ability. So I thought we could send out the letter upon your approval. It is on your letterhead. And as I said, the most recent, maybe I didn't send the version, Donnie, where you wanted, click the tab for the business resources. So I'll resend that, and then, and then get that out.
The only difference, though,
is the difference.
So there's nowhere to click to go to the information.
So once that New York Forward, once that most recent, the shorter link, I added, click the business resource tab. That's the tab they need to click that gets them to where they want to be, instead of them having to search all over. So I added that little phrase there. If you, with your approval and permission, I'd like to get that sent out via email to the businesses. EJ, I'll make sure that you have a copy of that, and any press we can get around where businesses go that we're reopening tomorrow. What's also critical is we need to watch closely the regional, and because, I'm not getting the sense that that we're going to, I'm not getting the sense right now that if in the region the numbers surged, that we would be told to stop phase one. But what we do know is that it will prolong opening phase two if we do not stay within the metric guidelines. And so that's really important, that we continue to market and to get the messaging out that we need to take all the precautionary measures. I get that it's controversy. It's controversial on some aspects, but if we want to support our businesses and the success of their reopening, all the precautionary measures that we can put in place to reduce the risk of spreading the infection in the best interest for our businesses and our community.
Let's ask, is everybody okay with the business letter to the businesses? I don't know if everybody's seen it.
Hey, Don, I just had a question. Donna, you said there's a new letter after the one you did?
Yeah, I can send that. The only thing I added was click the business resource tab.
Because if I print around to give them, I want them to have that little click.
I will absolutely send that out. Yeah.
It'd be good for everybody, really.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. And then I do have, we've been printing the signs for the businesses. Legislator Maroon, I believe we put some in the mail yesterday for you. Sandy's nodding yes as I lean back in my chair. She's nodding yes that we did that. And you're welcome. We can do the same for you, Lindy. If you'd like some, we've had to order more paper cardstock because we've put it on the heavier paper, but that should be here Monday. But we can send you out some if you all want some in the mail. I'm not saying I'm gonna have enough to mail for all of Saranac Lake, Malone, and Tupper Lake, the larger communities, but we can pop some in the mail if you'd like those.
Yes, please.
I handed out 3 the other day to the 2 greeneries in Bombay and to the store in Bombay, and they were really happy that I did that because they said that it just helps them somewhat.
Yeah, and I'll hand some to Greg and Paul today, and I might be seeing Andrea at a meeting after, so I'll hand her some. And we'll get some out to the rest of you. And as I said, we'll print more. Basically, it's the cost of our paper and 4 cents for the color printing. So I think we'll just continue to try to do it in-house.
I left some with Ricky the other day too, so maybe he might do some also.
And the businesses, anyone that's listed with the chamber and the IDA LDC, they all received a copy of the poster electronically already.
Thank you very much. And I really would like to get some copies.
Okay, yep.
As many as you can send.
Yep, and you might get them, some more next week, but we'll get some in the mail today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So everybody is okay with the letter? I just need to know that anybody got any complaints against the letter? We'll go that way.
I'm okay with the letter.
I'm good.
I don't hear anybody saying they aren't good with it.
No, I'm good with it, Donnie, as well.
I can see Paul and Greg. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, and Andrea, I think you shook your head.
So I do want to mention that the letter was, thank you, Penny and John Miller. They drafted the first version and like any group, we then brought it to the task force and we tweaked it just a little bit. So they really gave us a good foundation on that letter and tweaked it. And then we've changed it a little bit more as like new information from the state has come in with adding the links and that kind of thing. So I think, and we also, I'd like to acknowledge that on the task force is Sue Matten. She is an economic development expert from the North Country Chamber of Commerce, and she sits on the task force as well.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that she wanted to be part of that.
Yes.
I'm sure the businesses are really going to appreciate the information in the link.
Yes.
And Lindy did the poster for us.
Yes.
With some changes.
Thank you. I didn't hear what you said, but I hear her laughing in the background over there.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Don, I want to thank the task for developing that letter, working on that letter. Thank them.
Yeah, and I think it works out good with a smaller group like that, and then we bring everything back to make sure everything's good with everybody before we send it out, and I think that works out good. It's just a few of us, and it seems like it's working well. We also have our 2:00 call every day with the state, and it's me and Donna are the only two on that from Franklin County, and then the other counties have the same representatives, and it's Kara Griffin, the same one that does the 4:00 call, and she is very good, but she kind of helps. She's answering our question as a county. On the 4:00 call, there's 200 people on it. This one, there's only like less than 30, and we can ask questions and get a voice in. So if there's ever anything you think we need to get an answer to, or sooner, we just let me or Donna know, and we'll make sure that we get that through. Let's see what else we got. Andrew, can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I just had to take that quick call. I have something to announce after that will help support the county once we're all done what you're talking about.
Okay, I think I'm done unless somebody's got some questions on any of that stuff. Okay.
We're going to reissue the resolution.
I don't know. I think that's on hold right now.
People are asking me about The question at the top of the poster, it's the law.
It is an executive order.
It's an executive order from the governor.
Yeah, the governor actually made that an executive order, which I think is a law, right?
Okay, all right, thanks.
John still on there? John?
I'm still here.
Now, if we, on the top of our poster, it says it's a law, that's the same as the governor's executive order saying it's a law, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think executive orders become the law during periods of states of emergency.
I'm just telling you what I'm here in Tupper Lake. I'm enforcing it. And then they can file an Article 78 against me if they want. But everybody seems to be very happy with it. Most people. But I just want to interrupt for a minute. I had to jump off. That was the Commissioner of Corrections. The question that you've all been asking, and I'm stealing my boss's thunder, but because we're on, they've extended the no visitation to any state facility until June 1st. So it expires tomorrow with the regular pause order. That was the commissioner himself. They've extended it until June 1st, where they will reevaluate it then. So
That's great news.
So that's good. I just want you all to know that.
We're gonna get lots of calls.
Go visit. The hell? Great call.
No visitation, at least until June 1st. And what Betty and I told them the other day was, if I can't visit my grandmother in the nursing home, it's not right that somebody can visit an inmate in a prison. Not to be mean or anything, it's just not right. So that was him. You can tell everybody.
Thank you.
Don't
It's
tell
good
Betty
information.
I told you before I told her, though.
Paper's got to be in tomorrow morning's paper, bro.
Okay.
Is there anything else for regular session?
I just wanted to talk about, as we will put in a plan in place as far as reopening and the courthouse. It is still the intention to keep, a density reduction. We will look at people that can continue to work remotely. There needs to be the physical ability for employees to be seated 6 feet apart, and some precautionary measures around that. We are not going to just open the doors and have, the floodgate open. We need to do this slowly and systematically and safely. And we need to do that at the same time we're supporting our businesses. Again, we don't want to participate in increase infection and the surge. So I know that there's some folks in phase 2, that we would be looking at, maybe, the treasurers, DMV, county clerk, appointment only, those kinds of things. We would need to check temperatures as employees and the public come in. We still would need to, maintain the masks, but we're going to work on a systematic approach as we slowly open our doors to the public as well. Does that make sense?
Maybe just keep it at one door still, because if we got a thermometer at one door, it'd be the best way, easiest way.
Right. I do have a memo from the unified court system that they are opening court back up on Wednesday, I believe. So working with someone from the courts as to what their plan is. And they probably will still need to come through the Brewster Street entrance. And so, who's going to we'll just need to work some of those details out.
Donna? The election board is working on the absentee ballots mailing, and I'm just hoping that they have spread out their office area to be low density. So that might be something to check on.
Yep, I did send out a request for information around how they were planning on managing, the space requirement, and what kinds of things they're putting in place as they bring back some per diem folks to help with the election preparation. So, I'm waiting to hear back from them on that. I asked for that information. I requested it yesterday, so I'm sure they're working on their plan as we speak.
Hi, Susan. Susan
Hello.
just joined us from the North Country Chamber.
Thank you.
I think Mr. Maroon has that under control anyway. doesn't he,
Susan,
Paul?
how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How's everyone else this morning? Sorry I'm late. We were answering questions.
Yeah, but Andrea had something she wanted to say there. She was a while ago.
One, we have to answer Jason Murray's email, remember, everybody, if you can. I think we don't have to talk about in session. I think if Paul and Eddie just see that email, answer Jason back. And then two, I've been working with Sean Glazier, or he's been working with me. He's called me to ask for help. USDA Farms to Family Box Program. He has been awarded one of the distributions of the food part for dairy and produce. This Sunday, we're going to have our first giveaway of milk. We're going to try to give away about 3,000 gallons of milk to anybody. Anybody's able to come and get milk. We're going to do it at the fairgrounds from 9 to 12. So you're going to come in one gate. We'll load it in your car and you can go out the other gate. So it's through milk.
That's great.
So we have an advertisement that's going to go out on social media as soon as we're finished this call. It just kind of all happened so quickly and we're getting this off. We need to get it off started by Sunday. So 3,000 gallons of milk. Every family can get up to 6 gallons. So anybody and everybody share it with your family. And I'm trying to organize it so I can get some to the southern end, maybe by Monday or Tuesday. But right now for the northern end, we are doing the fairgrounds and we're going to end up working with Clinton County, Jefferson County, or St. Lawrence County. He does, yeah, he wants to get to Essex and he does want to get to Jefferson. So he's got a dairy box program and a produce box program. And we'll be setting up 2 dates a week where we'll be distributing this food. And we're going to need volunteers to help out.
Did you say Saturday?
Getting the word out?
We're gonna this afternoon. The word's gonna hit the street hopefully with social media first, and we'll talk to hopefully EJ can help us with the newspaper, the Adirondack, that anybody can come and get this milk. We're starting with 3,000 gallons. We will do more if we see the need and the push, but they just want to, help these local the farmers in general get this out on the street.
Well, if you want us to push it out on our social media as well, we can do that. Just any links that you have, we'll push them out.
I'll send it to you. And then I'm going to reach out to Mark Henry from Clinton County to find out where we can do a truck over there, maybe on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds great. Or
It's exciting, really exciting.
We need to help each other instead of these farmers dumping milk. It is sponsored by USDA. It is a grant. But they see the need to help, the farmers and getting this, and instead of them dumping it, get it out to people.
I see some of the bigger areas like Syracuse has been doing that for a week or so now. So it's good that it's getting up here now. That's great.
Yeah, and we do have the need.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was it.
So you're thinking hopefully the south end Monday or Tuesday?
Monday, he said maybe possibly Wednesday, but we're going to try to get up there one of those days. And I'll reach out to a couple local firemen to see if we can help just kind of be a distribution site to unload milk. Just all they do is put it in someone's car.
Donna, back to the courthouse for a minute. We're going to open this slow because big crowd, like use Kip, for example, motor vehicle will be flooded and you'll have 50 in that little room instead of, so we gotta do it slowly and they've got to have masks on. We should have masks at the doors. I didn't hear what you said. I missed a little bit of it. But those are things we should be prepared for as we start to open the courthouse back up too.
Kip is here. Kip, you got anything to say, Kip, on that?
Well, yeah, what we've tentatively done is we're only going to open up by appointment only. We're going to keep pushing people to do things remotely with whatever possible. And we're going to have people only come to the doors once their appointment time is there. It's going to be very limited in order to keep traffic at a bare minimum. I'm hoping to sit down with Donna and probably the security officers in order to come up with a firm game plan. But yes, it will be a very limited opportunity to enter the office.
And at present time, we have been providing the security officers with masks because anyone that comes into the courthouse, if they've forgotten their mask or they don't have one, we've been handing them a mask, and it's a cloth mask that they can wash and reuse. And so they've handed out about 15 in the last, I don't know, two and a half weeks when I gave them masks to have at the door. We certainly don't want to turn anyone away. So we've been doing that, and security's been excellent to have them at the door monitoring and making sure the rules are followed. So Kip, we're not talking next week. We're talking like the beginning of June, right?
Correct. Yes, because we started getting, obviously, once the North Country started opening, the phones rang off the hook yesterday.
I'll bet.
We probably fielded 200 phone calls between 1 and 4 o'clock. Everybody thinking Friday we were opening.
Yeah.
So, based upon my discussions last night, we're thinking we're phase 2. And what we've said to people that are calling this morning is, listen, tentatively, the doors will open June 1st. We're going to start taking appointments May 28th. And it's going to be very limited. We're hoping that you will keep only one door to the courthouse open at that time.
Yeah.
That way we can monitor who's coming into the building and who's not. And unless they have an appointment and we have a slot for them, they will get turned away. And of course, this is all hinges on the board approving the building opening, and also that we successfully complete phase 1. It's very tentative, and it's very movable at this time.
Okay, good. Thank you. And I think we all know motor vehicle is, I get calls all the time on motor vehicle. I mean, people just got things they want to do and have to do. So that's great.
We're going to have each month we had approximately 500 people that were due to renew their licenses. So we're going to have the people 500 from March, 500 from April, 500 from May that are going to be pushing to come in our offices. So that's why we're going to try to limit it as best we can and try to spread it over the course of the summer in order to get people in there. So, the new norm in DMVs are going to be have an appointment that you're not going to get in for the foreseeable future.
Is there going to be a drop box too or no? I know before you had problems with the drop box.
Drop boxes are hard to do because you're having people leave money and checks in a box.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be responsible when the money's not there, when we go to pull it out of the box, and somebody says, well, I left you $50 or a blank check or whatever it may be. So, we're hoping to continue with people mailing things in. We'll process it and tell them when they can come back to pick up the plates at the door.
It's too bad we couldn't put a drive-up window like the banks have where they could process it and hand it right back to them. But.
Well, Cortland County tried that and the state shut them down, so.
Oh, really? Oh.
So, and we've also ordered some plexiglass to make the DMV a little more safe between the employees and the public, and even perhaps the employees to employees, right, Kip?
Yeah, I mean, the employees they're safe distancing right now. They're 6 feet apart. So we're good there. We did install some plexiglass about 3 weeks ago, and we just felt we needed a couple more pieces in order to make the social distancing definitely work when people are getting their picture taken. So, I mean, we've been working on a plan, with Donna's help and with the building department. We've got some pretty good game plans in place, and we're just fine tuning them with the security officers at this time. And, if everything works out, hopefully June 1st we'll be going, but if not, then we'll adjust. If it's June 8th, if it's June 15th, whatever the case may be, we'll adjust it as we get closer. But the main thing is I needed to have something to tell the public, because they automatically think Friday we're open for business, and that's not the case. So we've tried to have something there when we answer the phone to say, okay, this is what we tentatively have planned and this is where we're headed, but like everything else in this time, it is tentative. So-
Question, is it possible to get the Southern and DMV open at the same time by appointment?
No, number one, we don't have the resources up there. And number two, the folks that are working in that office are working in a very confined space. It's really tight. I think we will have to sit down at some point in time and discuss the Saranac Lake office. But at this time, I cannot, in good conscience, put 2 employees in there that are 3 feet apart and have the customers right on top of them. We may have to look at something redesigned, something down the road, but I just don't feel it's appropriate to open that office at the same time.
So if it was by appointment, you could limit it to 1 person in the office and 1 person being helped. Yes,
but you're going to have to, somebody's going to have to man the phones to take appointments down there, so that's another body. And again, those 2 employees are in an area that's probably 10 feet by 5 feet. It's a very tiny area. There's 1 doorway in there. The customers are right on top of the young ladies that'll be working there. It's going to be difficult. I am not ready to open that office at the same time we open Malone.
Well, we can take it one step at a time. We'll get the one in Malone open, and then we can discuss the next phase. Fran, do you have anything? How's the amnesty or the waiver of the taxes? Is that working at all, or?
Yes, we've gotten tremendous response. We've had so far over 15 parcels paid off with the interest-free period. The issue I'm having, and I've discussed this with Donna, obviously we know we're not opening to the public, so we're recommending everyone mail checks or money orders to us. The issue I have is because of the response, I have to bring my staff in. I have 2 positions that are vacant, 1 layoff, 1 out on medical. But I have to have the rest of my staff in to be able to answer the phones and help those customers, because it requires it's about 15 minutes to figure out exactly what payment they have to make to pay it off. So what we're doing is we're reconfiguring the office to bring the staff back safely. We've also got plexiglass that's going up if and when we decide to open to the public. We would like to restrict our office to, like Kip said, appointment only. And we would prefer that the only people that are coming in have to pay with cash. They would be paying with cash, because anyone that's paying with a check could send it to us. But I anticipate that occurring, it getting even busier next week. I was on the phone with the state tax department today, and their letters regarding the STAR delinquency program are going out next week.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So just to clarify a little bit, so she is not identifying the staff that are presently in temporary layoff status, and we're not going to, of course, fill the vacant position. But she's had staff that she's been rotating them in and out so that there's not as many people in the actual office space. But she's making arrangements to reconfigure her office space so she can have more people in her office at the same time. So she's putting some safety measures in place around that.
We need to move desks and workstations so that they're not near each other. I have a conference room. We'll be able to maneuver it. No public will be allowed in, obviously, but I just need the staff people to be able to be spread out. So we're working on this.
Donna or Penny or Fran, people working from home, aren't they? Don't they have computers at their house? Didn't you say, Donna?
The issue I have is that, so they have remote access. They don't have county computers at home. They have remote access to certain software programs. So they're able to maintain our accounting work. Payroll has to come into the office when she does payroll. The issue I'm having is taxpayers are calling because they've seen in the paper that we're waiving the interest. That is a calculation that has to be run. If they've made partial payments, we have to go pull their partial payment folder, see what they've paid, compare it to the system. It's about 15 minutes per taxpayer.
It's not online?
No, it's not available to, taxpayers cannot look that up. That is solely in this office.
No, not taxpayers, your people at home.
They can look up current total amounts due, But the interest issue we have is that if partial payments have been made, that's not all inclusive in the system. That's still done on paper because our system doesn't completely absorb all of that work. So we still do have a paper trail. They're not going to be coming in and working 5 days a week in here, but I do have to have them come in a few extra days.
Okay.
And
Their hands.
I don't know if everybody understands the STAR program, but anybody that's getting the STAR program now, if they haven't paid their back taxes, aren't going to be able to get the STAR exemption anymore. So there may be a rush just from, hopefully there'll be a rush from that also. Everybody got anything else?
I think that that's really great, Fran, that that people are responding to that and are taking advantage of it.
Yes, the stimulus checks have helped. A lot of people have called us and said, I got my stimulus. What do I owe you? They've paid it off. We have, like I said, the 15 or so people are people that have already taken advantage of the interest-free period. We have a stack, I would say easily over 30 of people who have called in to get those figures and anticipate paying it by June 22nd. So if we can help any taxpayers, we have some taxpayers that have saved a few $100s by waiving that interest and on that chance.
That's great. Anybody else got any more questions for Fran? Fran, do you have anything else? You got any money coming anywheres or?
No, our second sales tax payment for May came in and it is down. So for the month of May, our payments for the month of May are down $600,000.
Yeah. It's not good.
No. That's just for the month of May so far, which would be April's sales tax collection.
Now, the layoffs, do we have a number on what we figured the layoffs would save? So July.
I have that right now.
Oh.
I had anticipated if we laid off 100 employees at an average of 35,000 annual salary for 3 months, we would have saved over 800,000. But
We didn't get
we
100.
have to look at every employee to see what the salary is, those types of things. So it'll.
I was just wondering. I didn't know if you knew right off the top.
Nope, not off the top of my head yet.
However, we're not filling vacancies, so, we're taking that into consideration as well. And personnel's been great to work with as far as getting us some data around that.
Anything else anybody's got?
Dom, do you want to do the resolutions?
Yeah, we might as well do, if nobody's got anything else they want to talk about now, we'll do because we just have 3 resolutions. And rather than wait till next week, we might as well do them this week and get them processed. One of them's actually money, so we need to do that one for sure. But if everybody's okay with doing the resolutions today. Go ahead.
Go for it. Let's do it.
Okay, resolution number 110, offered by Franklin County Legislature, related to calling on Congress to provide direct aid to local governments.
Okay, can we get a motion in a second? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
Do you want me to do a roll call or you want to do?
Yeah, you have to do a roll call, but I need a motion in a second first. Paul?
Make a motion.
Okay, now you can do your roll call vote. Any discussion on, I'm sorry, any discussion? Okay, now we can do the roll call.
Okay, legislator debut,
Yes.
legislator Maroon,
Yes.
legislator Ellis,
Yes.
legislator Lozon,
Yes.
legislator Januszewski,
Yes.
legislator Dumas,
Yes.
legislator Lockwood.
Yes.
Okay, the resolution was adopted by 7 ayes. Resolution number 111, offered by Human Resource Committee, relating to proclaiming May 2020 Older American Month.
So moved.
Motion second. Andrea motioned.
I'll second. Lindy?
Yeah. Okay, discussion? I just think that this is a great thing. If we honor an older American, especially at this time when most of them are stuck where they in their homes, things like that. But anybody else got any discussion on this?
No, we just appreciate what our Office of the Aging does in the community. They've gone beyond during this pandemic to make sure that anybody that is needing assistance, they're there. So Michelle, make sure you pass on to your team. We appreciate what you guys are doing. I know, if we can pick up the phone and call somebody, I randomly had to talk to somebody the other day and I was on the phone with her for 40 minutes and they just want someone to talk to.
They probably didn't get a chance to talk if they were talking to you for 40 minutes.
Listen.
Michelle, do you have anything that?
I just wanted to say thank you, and I will definitely relay that to my team.
Almost half, well, not quite half the board are probably senior citizens also. So.
I was going to say that, but.
I can say it.
Thank you all very much.
Okay, we get a roll call vote, please.
Legislator DeView,
Yes.
Legislator Maroon,
Yes.
Legislator Ellis,
Yes.
Legislator Lozon,
Yes.
Legislator Januszewski,
Yes.
Legislator Dumas,
Yes.
Legislator Lockwood.
Yes.
Okay, resolution adopted with 7 ayes. And the last resolution is resolution number 112, offered by Public Safety Committee relating to authorization to accept and appropriate funds, District Attorney.
Motion and a second.
I so move. Lindy?
And who was the second? Did you get it? Did you get a second, Penny? Okay.
Paul Lozon.
Okay.
Squeaky chair.
Yeah.
Don't get that chair today.
Okay, any discussion on this resolution? That's the one for the DA's office, right, Penny?
Yes.
I'm gonna bring my chair and switch it.
Okay, we can do a roll call vote, then there's no discussion.
Legislator DeView,
Yes.
Legislator Maroon,
Yes.
Legislator Ellis,
Yes.
Legislator Lozon,
Yes.
Legislator Januszewski,
Yes.
Legislator Dumas,
Yes.
Legislator Lockwood.
Yes.
Okay, resolution adopted with 7 ayes, and that's it for resolutions.
Is there anything else anybody wants to bring up before we go into executive session?
Yeah, Don, this chair doesn't squeak like my one at home.
You ain't a kidding.
You were here.
Take it home with
Put
you.
oil at home now, you haven't heard it in a while.
Hey, Don, does Sue have anything to tell us in open session?
Sue, do you have it? Whoops, we're getting a beat. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. No, we are going to be, we're putting out all of the information about the reopening and the connections to all the links that they have there in the Daily Dose today. It actually went out first thing this morning, so we could get that information to everyone. Thank you for everyone who shared the information with us. Also, we have set up 2 new trainings for the safety officers. And that will be for restaurants and for accommodations. And one will be next Thursday and one will be next Friday. Donna, if you like, I'll send you the links as soon as I have those so that you can get those out to people. And then we'll be setting up others as other sectors start to reopen.
Okay, sounds good. Is there anything that other counties are doing that maybe, I know you see a lot of different stuff that we don't see that maybe we could implement or we should look at, or?
I think a lot of the counties are doing, they're doing really good work, and they're doing a lot of the same things, getting out information to people, trying to do as much testing as possible, getting working with the hospitals and working with their United Way and JCEO and all of those organizations to help people. I think the milk program is absolutely wonderful. Did you get a supply of masks that you could give to people from the state? We got a couple of thousand here in Clinton County.
I think they all go usually to the 911 building, and then they distribute them from there to the places that either call or ask for them, or that they think will need them.
Yeah, what we're doing is sharing them with small businesses. Yeah.
That should be our next step for sure, if we haven't already done that. I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah. The small businesses, we're getting a lot of calls from small businesses that they'd be willing to buy them if they could figure out where to get them fast, right? Because they need them
Yeah.
really fast. And that's been a big help to people, I think.
Well, Franklin County is doing
So
the best of
maybe-
all of them, right?
Absolutely. No, I think
Maybe-
all the counties are doing great work. I really do.
Yeah. The paper can write that
Maybe-
we're doing the best.
Yeah. Let's consider when hand out the milk that we have face masks available at that point in time also
That's a good idea.
to
Yeah.
potentially hand out.
Yeah, I have a box here that I was going to bring down with me. I have some of the white ones that Ricky gave us. I've given them out to almost all my small businesses in the village. Called them all, handed them out through the police department. And I called and left Robbie a message. I need some more hand sanitizer if we have it.
Yeah, I think hand sanitizer we have more than the mask. I'm not sure how the masks are holding up. But
I've been delivering that to like the Sawyer Ave and Mill Street apartments, 215 Elm. They've appreciated it.
I understand that the state still has quite a few masks, and if you make a request, that's what they told us anyway. If you make a request for more, if you need them, that you should be able to get them.
we'll have to check with Ricky because he does have a pretty good supply of stuff.
Yeah.
And Ricky-
Also,
Ricky-
we did. Go ahead.
Ricky said that they were getting in a big order of masks
Oh, good.
2 days
Yeah.
ago.
Okay.
Good. We also had over 700 people attend the training yesterday. For how to reopen. And in the morning, we were not able to give them information about about being able to reopen from the North Country. And in the afternoon group, which Lindy was on, we were able to say, we have met all of the criteria, and so we'll be able to be on the reopening list.
Is there any way we could get a list of who from our areas or who from Franklin County at least did take that so we can know?
Maybe what we have, I think, is emails, and we'll be emailing to everyone who attended yesterday. For both sessions, we'll be emailing them a link to the New York Forward and the plan page. And then they also will get a link to the presentation itself and all the handouts that they were given information on.
Just wondering about the ones that fell through the cracks that maybe because we know our areas better, we might be able to go to them directly and say, you really should check out this website.
I'm happy to share the list with you, and you may be able to tell by the emails who they are. I don't know if I have any other information on them, but I can check,
okay.
certainly. I can check. I think what we collected was emails, so that they could be sent the link.
A lot of them are probably private emails too, probably. They just did it.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, AOL.com or something. Yeah. Right.
Sue, I missed that yesterday afternoon. I wanted to go to the 2:00, but is that somewhere is that the link? Is there something that I can go to and see it?
So we put in place another on the main page of the chamber webpage now is the coronavirus page, and right on the top now is the reopening New York, or reopening the North Country, and in there is a link to the webinar, which was called Back to Business, and the presentation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
There might be something we could add to our business letter. But they probably already got it if they're already a member of the chamber or one of those organizations.
Well, there always are people who fall through the cracks, though. So it can't hurt to give the information to people. If you want to add that, yeah.
Every time we turn around, we're telling Donna something different.
That happens to
The
me.
only issue is I'm trying to keep it one page so I can take a look at that, because I literally am out of space, and I just think if we make it a multi-page document, but I will play with it a little bit and see what I can come up with.
Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that.
Donna, that happens to me too. Yeah. Here's Gary. You know what we should do?
Hey, Sue, while you're on the
Go ahead.
Sorry, Sue, while you're on the line, there's a technology that I'd like to talk over with you, or your safety expert Is there a time I could call you to talk about it?
Absolutely. I have a 2 o'clock call to, the staff, one of the 2 daily staff calls is at 2, but I think that other than that, I'm clear. Just let me check to make sure here. Yeah, yep, anytime other than, 2:30 it is today. They moved it back a half an hour. Between anytime, but except 2:30 to 3.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Anybody got anything else? We got a lot of information out here today. It went well. Thanks, everybody. And we're going to go into executive session. So I'd ask the ones that aren't part of the executive session to hang up or log on.
Great, thank you. Nice to talk to you. Bye.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah.